TV, Channel 49 Television Network, and we are broadcasting live on your local TV station right here. I want to say a big shout out to everybody out there that's tuning in to us right now, live on TV. Good evening. We got a very special guest with us. We got Anastasia DeVoe live with us. Good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
You know what? I can't complain. I just can't complain. We got a lot of people tuning in to us right now here live on Channel 49 TV.
Roy, and I'm Sabrina Brown, and we're your co-hosts from Wind Down Fridays. If you enjoy shows that are informative,
some prune juice,
uplifting, and funny, please be sure to check your local listings for Wind Down Fridays here on Channel 49 TV, where the fun begins.
Out every Friday and Saturday night at midnight, and also you can check them out right here live on Channel 49 TV, not only at midnight on Fridays and Saturday, but Saturday nights at 9 o'clock. They talk about everything when it come down to classic wine. Anything about wine, them ladies got it. I say wine in relationship. Anastasia, what you think about that? The best tasting wine in the world. What you think?
Oh, some sweet red.
Oh my God!
I don't even know no name. I just know sweet red. Long as it's some sweet red.
Oh man, so why they call? I mean, is that what you call it, sweet red?
No, it's actually a wine. That's what they call it, sweet red. It's like a red wine that's sweet. I'm not really a good drinker, so I try to pick everything sweet. So that's what I go for, sweet red. That's what I always ask for.
That should be your name too.
Sweet. Now look here, I can look. Hey, don't start nothing, Mr. Donnell. Don't start nothing. I could be sweet red though. I could be sweet red. Somebody else might call me bitter, depending on who you asking though.
Well, I want you to introduce yourself to the world. We got a lot of people tuning in to us right here on Channel 49 TV network. Tell everybody who you are.
Well, my name is Anastasia DeVoe. I am a stand-up comedian, motivational speaker, and game changer and difference maker. And basically, I'm stationed in Dallas, Texas. I travel worldwide, and I'm 360 degrees of funny. There is not a subject or a room you can put me in where I cannot make laughter a part of the surroundings. But not only am I a comedian, I'm also a very spiritual person with a very big mission with a ministry called Pushed Into My Purpose that's going to be changing the world and taking people places, Mr. Ballard.
Wow, that's amazing. I want you to tell us a little bit about how did you get into comedy?
Well, you want the truth?
Yeah, I want the truth. We want the real deal right here on Channel 49.
Well, baby, let me tell you how I got into comedy. Oh no, I'm gonna keep it clean. I ain't gotta get dirty to tell the truth. But basically, in my past, I had a different lifestyle. I was a little hustler type person. I was out there. My mama was a crackhead, so in order to keep the food stamps in the house, I started selling drugs so we could keep the food stamp cards. So I had to become the person I had to make a way to keep the groceries in the house. So I had to do what I had to do. I ended up getting in trouble.
Okay.
I was an insurance agent. I ended up getting into trouble, couldn't keep my insurance job, trying to make ends meet. And I ended up going to beauty school because I could naturally do hair because just in my family. And when I went to beauty school, a young lady there by the name of Charlotte Wooten, who has a beautiful beauty shop now. She inspired me because I used to make everybody laugh at school. I went to Vanderbilt's Beauty College over on Ewing in Dallas. Okay. And when I was there, one of my things to do was to keep everybody in good spirit because it was really a cool atmosphere. And whenever I was missing from school, everybody would call my phone and be like, "Hey, we need you here. We need your spirit. We need your energy." And so one of the young ladies that was in my class named Charlotte Wooten, She called K104 when Nanette Lee was like the major personality on the radio, and that was in 2001. Matter of fact, it was
Wow.
March. It was March the 11th of 2001 when my friend called Nanette, and then March the 27th, which was actually my mom's birthday, 2001, was my first time on stage at the Arlington Improv. Nanette invited me to come out because what happened was when my friend called them that morning when Nanette and them used to do the
Do the morning
5 minutes
show?
of fame or something. Yeah, the morning
Yeah.
show stuff. Well, one of my friend girls had called in and got me a spot on the radio, and then it told me, she said, "I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to do comedy." She said, and
Wow.
when I come back, you better make. She said, "You better be ready." And she had actually asked me. She was like, "Where have you did comedy before?" And I said, "In the projects at my school and at the crib." And she was
Right.
like, "No, I'm serious." I said, "Me too." In the projects at my school and at the crib. And so she went out the air. She came back. She introduced me. I went on the air. I talked about, and people can probably remember this because it was so weird. I talked about that guy Tank because he had just brought out that song. There's a I deserve where he talking about he deserved to be cheated
Okay.
on and all that stuff. But didn't nobody pay attention to at the end of that song. He be talking about she grabbed that coat and ran out the door because he had his hands around her throat. So evidently he didn't feel like he deserved all that because at the end of the song he choked that girl. That's why she was running.
Oh
And that was
wow.
my first joke. I made a pun of that song because it was so many women walking around singing the song, but they
Okay.
weren't aware that he was abusive at the end of the song. And so after that, and then they invited me to the improv, which was on March the 27th of 2001, which ended up being my mom's birthday. I got my
Okay.
standing ovation. I never went back to beauty school. I've been doing comedy ever since. I started getting
Wow.
paid within 3 months. My first time, my first tip jar had over $350 in it. And that's
Oh
how I made
wow.
my pay. That's how I determined what I was going to get paid by what the people paid me.
Right.
I
Right.
never let the clubs pick my pay.
Wow. Have you done television too in the past?
Yes, sir. I've done some television. I've done some acting. It's been
Okay.
mostly local. I worked with a young man by the name of Frederick Lawton out of Dallas.
Okay.
We did a movie called Death Around the Corner. I was in episode 4.
Oh wow.
I played a female pimp, and
Okay.
then I also did some work with another good friend of mine named Bobby Shue, and that's Bobbysshue. I
That
did some
name
work with
sounds familiar to
him.
me.
Yeah, he has a company called No BS Entertainment, and
Okay.
I did a LGBT movie with them called
Hmm.
I think it was Charlie, and I can't even remember the name of the two characters, but it was a gay movie, and it was about a
Okay.
man. It was about a lady, about a guy changing his sex, and the person finding out, and I was just a supporting person of like tell the truth.
Wow.
And if you tell the truth and the person loves you, it shouldn't be a problem. So I was just like a supporting actor. But I have my own play that I've written called Jesus Found Me in the Street. That's within 2023 is going to be dropping this year. That I wrote.
Wow. I tell you what, we definitely want to get it on our TV station. What you think about that?
I think that'll be absolutely awesome, Mr. Ballard. I think that'll be absolutely awesome.
All right. So tell us, besides doing acting, comedy, what else can we expect from you?
Ministry,
Let's talk
ministry.
about that. We got a lot of
My
people on this station that
yes.
definitely love that.
Well, my passion is saving my people.
Hmm.
My ministry is called Pushed Into My Purpose Ministries. The acronym is PIMP. So
Hmm.
it's pushed into my purpose ministry. So it's actually Pimp Ministries. And
Hmm.
my motto is all highly optimistic souls welcome. And that's HOS. So it spells all hoes welcome, but it's highly optimistic souls looking for
Okay.
something better. God got it, and you can find it at Pimp Ministries. And basically my ministry was built off the faith the size of a mustard seed. And we believe that nothing happens to you, everything happens for you. That
That's
nothing in
right.
your life that happens, God has meant for it to hurt you. He is meant for it to make you grow, or He is meant for you to
Wow.
use it as a tool to help somebody else that's going through the
Hmm.
same thing. And so for me, um, when I first started comedy, most of my talk was about sex when I
Mm-hmm.
first started doing comedy, and it was because that was the thing I related to most because that was my area of abuse. And
Right.
so when you most people when they start doing comedy, that
Mm-hmm.
whatever hurt us the most is going to be our subject line. And so when you see a lot of women talking about sex doing comedy, you can almost bet that 40% of those women have been sexually abused in some type of way. And so that's why
Right.
that is the main thing of our comedy. However, my comedy, when I talked about sex, had a totally different flip on it because I
Mm-hmm.
would talk about rape, I would talk about molestation, I would talk about the different things that hurt us, and
Right.
then uh, the people would be like kind of stunned, and then I would give them permission to laugh because they would feel your pain, but at the same time want to laugh. But they like, is this serious? Can I laugh?
Right.
And I would say, yes, it's okay to laugh, and then you would just hear the whole room burst into laughter. And so
Mm-hmm.
with that being the case, I think a lot more people can heal with us telling our stories of what we've been through rather than
Right.
acting like we ain't been through nothing. I think we need to share that more with our children and our family members and just tell the truth in
Mm-hmm.
general and get it out so other people can hear our stories and be willing to share theirs. Because I think if
I
we
love
everybody
that. I
start telling
love
their
that.
story, a lot of people can heal, including men.
Right. Let's talk about this too, because we know right now politics is big right now. Joe Biden in the White House. What are your thoughts on the former president? We talk about everything on this show. So, in politics, what are your thoughts on politics, and what are your thoughts on Joe Biden? Do you think he's doing a great job?
I don't think Joe Biden doing a great job.
Okay.
And I don't think Trump got as much credit as he should have got.
Hmm.
uh, Real talk, I really don't because a lot of people we look at what the media shows us, but we don't go do no in depth searching of what the people do.
Okay.
And for me, when Trump first got in office and they put 7 white men on TV saying that they didn't want him to be the president, I already knew that somewhere in his lineage he liked black people. If seven
Hmm.
white men came out saying don't pick him, anytime I see them going against their own,
Hmm.
it raises a red flag for me.
Oh, okay.
Because how can the most deviant people
Hmm.
be against their own? So
Right.
it would say to me that it's something good in that person that they don't want us
Hmm.
to know about. And I love President Obama because he's black, but the only thing he gave us was gay rights, and he didn't do nothing for the people as far as now the insurance. He gave us the insurance, whatever. But how
Hmm.
many black people actually use their insurance? Most of us self medicate and don't trust the doctor to tell us the truth because we think they're trying to kill us.
Right. Right.
Um,
Do
Trump
you
actually
think?
gave. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this: do you think maybe it's because a lot of people? This is what a lot of people will say. A lot of people will say that they think Barack Obama tried to do a lot, but he couldn't because the Republicans block a lot of stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, don't ask me because I feel like
No,
anybody
no,
get
we
in the
want to
White
ask
House.
you. We want to
When
ask
I
our
when,
guests.
because I'm controversial and everybody ain't gonna like my
I love it
answer.
though. Hey,
But
controversy sale on TV.
the truth is, I feel like anybody get in the White House already on the agenda because you can't get in
Okay,
there without being a part
I
of a
believe
certain
that.
type of party.
Yeah.
And so okay, just like I feel that before we came here, God ordained what our mission was gonna be. I feel like before they get in the White House, they already know what their mission gonna be. I
Yeah.
feel like it's a private meeting somewhere to say this is what you can do when you get in
Hmm.
here, and this is what you can't do. Do you agree with these rules? And then whoever say yes or no, and that's basically what it is. I do feel like the other people stopped him from doing a lot of things, but I
Hmm.
also don't feel like he did as much as he could do to make push a whole lot of things through. I don't feel like he put a lot of light on a lot of things that should have been brought. I felt like as a black African American
Hmm.
president with an African American wife, I feel like it should have been more stuff that protected our kids should have been input, like more things that who policing the police. I
Right.
think it should have
And
been
hold
more
that
stuff.
thought. Hold that thought. Entertainment, because I love what you're talking about. We could go on forever. We got to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to get into that the gun violence that's happening across the country and black on black, and also we're gonna talk about police killing African American. I think you coming on with some good points. We're gonna take a quick break. You tune in to us right here on Channel 49 Television. We are your number one station.
Tour, and I'm Sabrina Brown, and we're your co-hosts from Wind Down Fridays. If you enjoy
The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way people live and interact with one another. For many older adults, this can mean a loss of social connections that can have serious negative mental and physical health consequences. Contact the Elder Care Locator to find local services that can help reduce social isolation and loneliness. Call the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116. Funded by the U.S. Administration for Community Living, the Elder Care Locator is a free public service administered by the National Association of Area Agencies on Aging. Most medical experts agree the COVID-19 vaccine is the way to fight the pandemic, but myths about it persist. Vaccines work by encouraging your body to generate antibodies to protect against an invading infection. The most common risks of mild symptoms are outweighed by the protection offered by the vaccine. Get the COVID-19 vaccine as soon as it becomes available to help protect yourself and your family, says the National League for Nursing. For more information, visit nln.org.
Hi, I'm Julie with Visit Myrtle Beach, and I'm happy to report that our COVID cases are steadily declining. This is due to the hard work and dedication of our businesses, our employees, and our locals who have been dedicated to taking all the steps they need to reduce the spread of the virus. We'd also like to thank the thousands of visitors to the Myrtle Beach area who have traveled here responsibly. Remember, when you travel, maintain safe social distancing, wear face masks in all indoor public spaces, and keep your hands clean. Yes, it is possible to enjoy a much-needed vacation and not get sick. It just takes a little extra effort and a lot of consideration. Thanks for continuing to travel responsibly, and we'll see you soon at the beach.
To raise awareness of the need for social distancing and the importance of wearing face coverings to combat COVID-19, the Henry Schein Cares Foundation and the UPS Foundation launched the Wearing is Caring campaign. It funds healthcare programs in underserved communities, while Henry Schein Incorporated, a solutions company for healthcare professionals, donates masks with messages such as, "Let's face it, mask up. Superheroes wear masks. Wearing is caring, and I'm still smiling." Learn more at hscaresfoundation.org.
My name is Patty Fowler. I own Flowerama of America in Pittsburgh. The thing I enjoy the most about being a florist is truly the passion that I have for the flowers. When you get to know the growers that you're buying from, some of the most beautiful fresh blooms are available 52 weeks of the year now. Local flowers from local growers, ranunculus from Costa Rica, Gerbera daisies from Canada, roses from Ecuador, Italian ruscus from Italy. A one-of-a-kind bouquet gives me the ability to use the blooms that are looking the most fabulous that day. One of the best parts of being a florist is the trust to shine for our clients and to give people something that truly is floral art. Watching it go out the door is complete excitement.
She's somewhere. We are live right now. Tell her. What would you ask? What would you ask?
Leaning back. My phone was leaning backwards.
Oh, okay. Well, we got a caller live on the phone line with us. Caller, you are live on the phone line with us on TV.
Hello, Bolden.
How you doing? You doing okay, man?
I'm doing fine. And I love the comedian, and she's one of my favorites. You know that.
You hear that?
Who this over there talking? Who this is?
CW, the program director.
Well, all right now, I'm feeling some type of way. Don't make me smile extra. You know my teeth I ain't got my dental plan yet.
She is so funny. I love her. She's one of the best she's one of the best in the Southeast, North, and West.
Yes, she is.
Well, thank you.
You got a question for her though? CW, real quick.
Yes, my main question is, when is the next show live?
Yes.
I have a show on January the 26th at the Queen Hookah Lounge. It's called Queens Take the Mic. Queens Take the Mic is open mic night. And basically, it's going to be a comedy show mixed with poetry. It's really for whoever wants to come through and express their talent. Right now, I'm getting away from just doing comedy by itself. I'm going to be doing comedy, but I'm inviting other different talents in to do different things.
Wow.
Because comedy is not making me happy anymore. Comedy has really lost its zest for making people feel better. I don't know what's going on in the energy of comedy right now. But every time for the last 4 or 5 comedy shows that I've attended, when I see the people leaving the room, they're not laughing. They're still in a monotone state. They're not uplifted, and they're repeating negative things that comedians said rather than funny things that comedians said.
So what do you think is going on with that? Do you think people are just not happy in general? I mean, could it be that with the COVID-19 going on and everything going on, that people are just frustrated?
That the COVID has a lot to do with it, and I'm gonna tell you why. People don't understand the subliminal messages of a smile in your eyes. Your eyes, people read a lot of information from eyes. And body language says 80% more than what we actually say. Well, if we walking around all the time with our mouth covered up, we can't see anybody smiling. So most people assume in the negative energy.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, we're only seeing people's eyes.
A flyer so we can put it out there. You know, I got my e-blast, so I'll put it out there in DFW Bam for you.
Absolutely, and I would send y'all the flyers. But I just really want people to start enjoying themselves, and it's going to be the January 26th thing is going to be like once we get through with the entertainment for the first. Well, we're doing from 5 to 7. We're doing happy hour hookah. They're going to be able to do a happy hour hookah, and then the comedy show is going to start. The entertainment starts around 8 o'clock, and basically once we finish with the entertainment, we're going to have a roundtable discussion with the Red Box. And what the Red Box does is allow people to ask me questions because, you know, I'm both spiritual, but I can relate to people on a religious level. But people also like to talk to me about relationship stuff. So the red box is going to allow them to put questions in there and ask me questions, and I'm going to answer them seriously, but I'm also going to answer them comically to make it funny. But I'm also going to I'm going to also answer the questions in a seriousness to help people find some relief in some of the stuff that they're going through. One of the main topics we're going to be talking about is the relationship between the black man and the black woman.
I want to ask you this too. Your thoughts on Will Smith's slap? As a comedian.
As a comedian, okay, I can't cuss. I feel
you can do it without cursing.
I feel like every negative energy that Will Smith could have possibly conjured up, he did with that one slap.
Wow.
Because for one, he slapped somebody that was humble. Two, he slapped somebody who didn't mean no harm. Three, he slapped him out of ego. Four, he slapped him not as a man, but he slapped him as something of a feminine energy. He slapped him in a feminine energy. He didn't slap him in a masculine energy. If I'd have been there, I'd have been in jail. If I'd have been anyone close to him and Jada, I'd have been in jail. I'd have been in jail.
What was going on through your head when you seen that? Because people, you got some people out there that was like, well, he deserved it. He did this. And I'm not gonna lie to you. When I heard people saying that this man deserved that, I actually blocked him from my Facebook page. I got so frustrated when they kept saying,
"No,
leave Will Smith alone." I'm like, no, and
I'm sorry, Donnell. I did not mean to cut you off, sweetheart.
Go ahead.
The people that say he deserved it is the people who are wimps just like him.
Thank you. I agree.
Only a wimp was for one. Black people just now got the notoriety that we need to be in the prominent positions on that platform right there. Yeah. So to act a nigga on that platform with somebody with such a gracious spirit, like no. And then didn't nobody really talk about this, but for me, the real thing that hit me was that high yellow chocolate Willie Lynch syndrome. Like the bright man hitting the dark man.
Right.
And the thing about it was what I love about Chris was his humbleness.
Yeah.
Cause he could have came back and been a Negro. He could have been a straight Negro.
Yeah,
but something in his mind said, I'm not gonna let you make me stoop to your level.
Mm-hmm.
And he took the high road. And somebody can say he ain't the man he should have been. I'd have did this, I'd have did that. He did what a man's supposed to do. He didn't let a man make him act like a feminine person in a professional surrounding. He didn't let him make him lose his cool. And his non-reaction was more action than he could have ever took. Because we're going to pay for that for the rest of his life.
Yes.
His non-reaction was the strongest action he could have ever took, because Will is going to pay for that mistake for the rest of his life.
Yes,
Ain't none of his movies did good for that. And like all the people can say, oh, we love Will and it was okay, but then none of them people buy no ticket to that movie.
No, they showed it. They showed it.
Right.
You're right. I definitely agree with you on that. Let's talk about this too, Anastasia, because we talk about the gun violence and the black on black crime that continue to happen across the country, along with police obviously continue to shoot. I know we was talking about that before the break. You really had some good points. Let's talk about it.
Yes, sir. Because I don't really feel okay. So I feel like when we had a black president in office, it should have been a whole lot more done on gun violence for our community.
Yeah.
I don't care what other topics he touched, But gun violence, it should have been
Number one.
some different things taking place. It should have been. I remember in the 80s. I can't remember like what year, but my brain is saying 83, 84. They used to do a gun round where they would pay people a certain amount to bring in guns and stuff, and you wouldn't get in any trouble. They wasn't running no backgrounds. They just wanted people to drop off the guns.
That's right. I remember that.
They did it in Fort Worth.
Yes, sir. And then, but right now, part of the problem that we're having with our kids is games and guns.
Yes.
Games and guns don't go together.
No, they don't.
And the reason I say this, because
two girls were getting into a fight over in Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
And one girl pulled a gun to shoot this other girl and shot a teenage boy, and killed him.
Wow.
And then took out running. Then wanted to run home, like she ain't did nothing. Like
just looking.
Innocent people getting killed.
Yeah.
Just want to turn. But see, this is the thing.
Somebody close, but a bullet can go a mile away.
Yeah, yes, he can. That's why I tell people all the time, when they shoot up in the air, they don't understand that it's got to go down somewhere.
Yes, sir. But this the thing with our babies, though. We raising a bunch of idiots.
Yes.
And that's called video idiots.
I was just going to say that. These video games is raising these kids.
Yeah, because this is what's happening. Our kids are spending, so many parents are using videos to watch their kids or to entertain their kids. Ain't nobody having live communication, no talking, no sitting down, none of that. Everybody putting that part too. And they just putting games in front of the kids. Now, we know from being raised as black people, what we see is more prominent than what we hear.
Yes.
If I'm studying watching a game, if I'm playing a game, soon as I get out of school till I go to bed, while I'm killing people, I'm getting points for bagging the lady. If I shoot him in the head, that's 500. If I get my partner and we on the game together and we killing a bunch of them, that's 5,000.
Yeah.
We are these.
Also,
go ahead,
also,
Mr. Bella.
These kids, they get so angry and upset when you tell them they can't play on the video game. I know my 16-year-old, he do it all the time too, but I get on his case and tell him, no, you're not going to play on this video game. You're not going to play on this video game every single day. You need to go outside and do something. You know, what happened to our kids going outside? You know, back in our day, our parents make us go outside and climb on the tree. You can't even do that no more.
And then
but what's happening?
Street light came on.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But what's happening? What the Bible says is becoming true. They're getting wiser and weaker. But also, for every paradigm, there is an opposite. See, they only say the negative to us. They say they're getting wiser and weaker. But there are also some that's getting wiser and stronger. And so what we need to do is bridge the gap between the kids that can think correctly and the ones that can't think correctly. Because the ones that are making bad decisions are coming from households where there is no decision maker.
Right, and you make a good point. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk to you because the biggest thing that I'm seeing happening, just happened here in Fort Worth, we got a lot of people out there with mental problems right now, and it's like these police officers are getting away with murder by killing a lot of these people that have a mental problem. Like me and you, we understand the concept. Put your hands up, but you got so many people out there that's especially African American who don't really comprehend on how to follow direction. So when we come back, I want to talk to you about that because we just had a person here in Fort Worth about 3-4 days ago get murdered by a Fort Worth police officer, and they continue to shoot us and get away with it. So I want to talk to you, get your personal thoughts on that, and we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to her about that. You tune in to us right here live on the Hottest Show. We are your community program that cares about the community. We'll be right back.
The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way people live and interact with one another. For many older adults, this can mean a loss of social connections that can have serious negative mental and physical health consequences. Contact the Elder Care Locator to find local services that can help reduce social isolation and loneliness. Call the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116. Funded by the U.S. Administration for Community Living, the Elder Care Locator is a free public service administered by the National Association of Area Agencies on Aging. Most medical experts agree the COVID-19 vaccine is the way to fight the pandemic, but myths about it persist. Vaccines work by encouraging your body to generate antibodies to protect against an invading infection. The most common risks of mild symptoms are outweighed by the protection offered by the vaccine. Get the COVID-19 vaccine as soon as it becomes available to help protect yourself and your family, says the National League for Nursing. For more information, visit nln.org.
Hi, I'm Julie with Visit Myrtle Beach, and I'm happy to report that our COVID cases are steadily declining. This is due to the hard work and dedication of our businesses, our employees, and our locals who have been dedicated to taking all the steps they need to reduce the spread of the virus. We'd also like to thank the thousands of visitors to the Myrtle Beach area who have traveled here responsibly. Remember, when you travel, maintain safe social distancing, wear face masks in all indoor public spaces, and keep your hands clean. Yes, it is possible to enjoy a much-needed vacation and not get sick. It just takes a little extra effort and a lot of consideration. Thanks for continuing to travel responsibly, and we'll see you soon at the beach.
To raise awareness of the need for social distancing and the importance of wearing face coverings to combat COVID-19, the Henry Schein Cares Foundation and the UPS Foundation launched the Wearing is Caring campaign. It funds healthcare programs in underserved communities, while Henry Schein Incorporated, a solutions company for healthcare professionals, donates masks with messages such as, "Let's face it, mask up. Superheroes wear masks. Wearing is caring, and I'm still smiling." Learn more at hscaresfoundation.org.
My name is Patty Fowler. I own Flowerama of America in Pittsburgh. The thing I enjoy the most about being a florist is truly the passion that I have for the flowers. When you get to know the growers that you're buying from, some of the most beautiful fresh blooms are available 52 weeks of the year now. Local flowers from local growers, ranunculus from Costa Rica, Gerbera daisies from Canada, roses from Ecuador, Italian ruscus from Italy. A one-of-a-kind bouquet gives me the ability to use the blooms that are looking the most fabulous that day. One of the
Rebecca Ward.
And I'm Sabrina Brown.
And we're your co-hosts from
Wind Down Fridays. If you enjoy shows that are informative, some prune juice,
uplifting,
and funny,
please be sure to check your local listings for Wind Down Fridays here on Channel 49 TV, where the fun begins.
Shout out to everybody that's tuning in to us right here around the world. We got a lot of people. What's up, Nigeria? We got family in Nigeria tuning in to us right now. And we also got people tuning in to us over there in West Africa. So shout out to them. You got any quick shout outs real quick before we get back into the program?
Just shout out to everybody that's trying to live their life in love and peace and trying to teach the people that's lost. Shout out to you that if you trying to serve your purpose and you ain't gave up, just keep going.
That's right. And before the break, we got to talk about this. We talk about a lot of people don't realize mental illness is real. So many people out there, especially us as African American, are getting this. What do you want to say to the community about the mental illness and why is it so important for us to come together and come up with some type of solution?
It's very important. I myself have taken my first responder for mental health certification. I actually have gotten certified for adult and youth first responder. And basically what I'm able to do is if there is a person having a mental breakdown and the people are calling the police on them, I can intervene before the police get there and talk the person down. And actually, we have the ability to go in before the police and de-escalate the situation to where the police can't do anything. And part of the reason we need to start being more mindful of mental illness and being more aware of mental illness is because a lot of people are suffering from mental illness and don't even know they haven't even had it diagnosed.
Yeah.
And so, as a people, Black people, we tend to disregard signs of mental illness and just be like, oh, they just need a butt whooping, or child, just get over it all, and those different types of things. But we really have to understand that our mental illness is not just now mental illness. It is a it is in our it's a generational mental illness. And people don't really like to believe the fact that the things that happen in our life is carried through our bloodline. But it is. It's just like generational curses. That stuff is real. And so if we don't deal with mental illness from a get to the source type of energy, I guess I can say, because we gotta start asking the questions like, okay, well, if this person is acting like this, what made them want to do that? Okay, so I done been molested. So I talk a lot to people who've been molested, and I talk a lot to people who are pedophiles and rapist people. The reason I talk to them is because I need to understand what makes you think the way you think. What caused this? What caused this? And when you really get to talk to people who've been through a lot of stuff, you'll find that they done suffered somewhere along the lines, the same thing, the same energy that they putting out. For mental illness, being bipolar, we make fun of people bipolar. We make fun of it. We say, because I dealt with that. I dealt with the bipolar diagnosis. And so for me, after I got tired of them over medicating me, I got a doctor at MHMR that was a doctor who knew how to talk to me. And her name is Kia Davis. Matter of fact, she has her own Couture Health Center now, where she's a nonprofit organization helping other people get the real help that they need and not just over medicating them. And the thing that I liked about her was that she listened. Most of us are scared to go to the doctor and tell the doctor actually what's going on for fear of a diagnosis that'll say we crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even want to acknowledge our own feelings most of the time. A woman or man, both, can be in bad relationships and will tell themselves that I need to stay in this relationship for my kids, even though they being abused, even though they being hurt, even though they being mistreated. We have been psychologically trained to endure abuse just based on slavery, based on, and then think about this. It started as slavery. We got used to being abused for that because we was trying to protect our families. So the husband got to get whatever got to happen to him to make him not kill his wife. The wife got to watch whatever happened to her husband to make him not kill the kids. Then after we get out of slavery, we come into relationships. Now we happen to suffer because we don't want to lose our husband, or we don't want to lose our wife, or we don't want the wife to take the kids from us. So we start enduring some more stuff. Then we start having thoughts we don't know nothing about. Like, why am I feeling like I want to kill somebody? Why I'm feeling like I want to kill myself? Well, we ain't never had nobody to sit down and talk to us about our emotions. Black people don't actually have a real connection to this realm of people that understand how we feel. If the black woman say she angry, then she you just one of them angry black women. You mad at the world. If we too docile, then we ain't enough black woman. The black man, if he get angry, if he angry, then he just a black man that's aggressive, and that's the MO of the black man. Okay, if the black man don't fight, then he gay. So it's like we not safe. We ain't safe nowhere as a people, and we need to make us safe because the world ain't making nowhere for us to be safe. We gotta show each other. I love you.
And speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up, because not only are we not safe with that, but we're also not safe in our own neighborhoods, because damn if we do, damn if we don't. We got to deal with the police problem. Then we got to turn around and deal with our own problem, black on black, where we killing each other. So
then you got to deal with family.
I really don't know what to do, because if I continue to stay in this neighborhood, I got to deal with my own black people. And then you got a lot of black people saying, oh, you don't need to be saying that. You don't need to be saying that he's black. Well, you got to say something to stop this gun violence that continue to happen. If we look at a person the wrong way, the first thing we want to do, we want to shoot them. Or if
let me tell you something.
Or if you blow your horn at somebody, you certainly get murdered. You and everybody else in the car certainly get killed because you blew your horn for that person to get out the way. You can't even do that no more. Road rage is getting out of control, especially in the Fort Worth area.
Absolutely. Let me share something with you. This was a real life situation that happened to me recently within the last 2 months. A good friend of mine had cooked some lamb chops.
Oh, that sounds good.
And he could cook them. Shout out to Greg Reeves, one of my homies. He cooks real good. He's an old radio personality. And so 97.9, Mr. Greg Reeves, he had made some lamb chops. And so he was like, she wants some lamb chops. And so he wanted to bring me some by my house. I was busy, so I didn't. If he comes and he think I got company or something, he'll just like leave whatever on my porch, or he'll put it on my car and he'll call me and say, "Hey sis, I left this on your car." Well, I had company, so he didn't come. He didn't knock on my door. He tied it on my car. Well, my company was a hood person. So he walked outside and he saw my meat tied on my car. Well, my friend had texted me and say, Stacey, I left your food tied to the car, but I hadn't checked my text messages just yet. And it only had been like a 3 to 5 minute gap.
Oh, wow.
My friend went outside, seen the lamb chops on the car tied up. He like, hey man, like, some dude tied some meat to your car. I'm like, okay. It was probably my friend who bought my lamb chops. I say, look in the bag, is there some lamb chops? He like, yeah. He like, but why he do, like, he went into a whole like tirade of that's a sign of murder. That means somebody finna kill you. If I'd have came out here and he'd have been doing that, I'd have shot him. And I'm like, I stopped and I said, you'd have shot him? He said, yeah. He said, because where I come from, that means somebody trying to kill you. So I'm like, well, I don't attract them kind of people. I said, I'm a peaceful energy. I say, ain't nobody trying to kill me and put no. And I say, the murderers I know don't use lamb chops. They use pork chops or something. I'm like, I don't know where you come from, but this ain't nothing I'm dealing with. But the foolishness of the fact that the first thing came out his mouth was he would have shot my friend.
Oh, wow.
And I said, yeah, and I said, why would you think to shoot? He said, because if I'd have came out here, I wouldn't have knew who he was. I'd have been thinking about what this means is murder. I said, you wouldn't have even thought to say, hey, who are you putting this on her car? I said, you wouldn't have wanted to ask. I said, these was my questions to him. And after he slowed down, he said, maybe I would have, but the energy he gave me, I knew he wouldn't have.
Right.
I knew he wouldn't have. And so, but that showed me, and this is a 40-something-year-old person.
Oh, wow.
This ain't no kid. This a 40-something-year-old man with good conscience, work hard every day and everything. But that meat on my car made me see a whole different person that I had never seen before. And so that's why.
So let me ask you this. Do you think there ain't something in his mind that's clicked?
I believe that where he come from, his surroundings and his background make up for his common sense. And what people don't understand is where you're born, wherever community you born in or whatever community you raised in, that's where you get your common sense. Mm-hmm. The word common comes from community.
Right.
So I would have to have lived where he lived to think like that. But when he broke it down for me for where he come from, I was like, I see why, but hey, can we change that?
Right.
Because that's not a healthy way of thinking.
And you know what? You make a good point, because that's the problem. What we have to start doing is changing mindset. And what I look at is, how do we change the mindset? Do we start with the little ones? Because I used to work in after school program, and I also used to work for the school district. And I realized a lot of them young people, 14, 13, 12 years old, they already come to school with major problems that's going on at home. And so when they get to school, they're angry and upset. I'm asking this young man every day. I said, what's going on with you, man? And he won't speak. And it took him almost 3 months to speak to me every day. He wouldn't speak. But you know what clicked him to speak to me? It was some kind of shoes, dress-up shoes I had on. And that right there became a good relationship where he started talking to me every day. And it's crazy because I guess with these kids, it's what you wear is what I guess what you wear is what they click on. And that young man see my shoes and he talked to me every day now. But when he first started coming to the school, because I know I was a student, I couldn't get him to say a word. And the principal was like, Mr. Ballard, what did you? I said, I tried to speak to him, welcome him, because I knew that was his first time in school. And the rest of the kids, everybody already knew the rest of the kids, but I always know the new students. And so he never spoke to me, but it took him 3 months to finally speak to me. What do you think? What do you think is going on with that?
Let me tell you something, Donnell. What you said is very true. How kids look at what we wear and how we look and all that stuff. The world has made our children so attracted to
clothes,
unrealistic stuff that don't make no difference in who their character gonna become. The world has made materialism a thing to where our kids are losing their morals for materials.
Yep.
And what's happening is, like, even me, I want to do many. I like right now. I'm like, for the last week, I've really been going through a major emotional overhaul because I want to quit my job. I am ready to jump into God's work full time. Like my push into my purpose ministries. I'm ready to be out there with the homeless and making a difference. But because of how my finances are set up, and I know God will take care of me if I step out on faith. It's the conditioning that we've been through that even when you know what God is able and can do, you still have a fear of stepping out into that space because you don't want to be in a position where you have to need man or people, and people will fail you. So
every time
it is crazy the dynamics of that, the things that as an African American the African American emotion that we cannot even express in words. And sometimes our frustration and the things that happen, like murder and all this kind of stuff, it's really a lot of times because the person could not express what they were feeling.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I tell you what, I have really enjoyed this conversation. We are definitely going to bring you back. Before we let you go, are you working on, I know you say you're working on the company, are you working on a book deal or anything coming up in the future?
Yes, sir. I have a book that I just wrote. Look, you know I'm all over the place.
You like me.
I'm a creative mind. I have a book that I have written. It's called Indiscretion.
But I tell you what,
it was a one-night stand.
I don't want the TV to cut off on you.
Baby, it's called Indiscretion. It was a one-night stand.
When you get that book finished, you better make sure you come back on my show first.
I absolutely am, Donnell. I love you. I thank you.
I love you,
and thank you for having me on your show. Channel 49 News is the top #1 station and the place to be. And if you ain't watching 49 News, you ain't watching no news.
That's right. Thank you so much. We love you. And we're definitely going to talk to you again. Trust me, I'm bringing you back on very soon.
Thank you, Don. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity. It's been a pleasure talking to you and your audience. Thank y'all for listening to me. Follow me on Facebook, Anastasia DeVoe and Pimp Ministries. Push it to My Purpose Ministries. Let me help prepare you into your purpose, baby.
Ooh, I love it. All right.